Welcome to the follow-up to Preparing and Delivering Effective Presentations presented by the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. This video will summarize the concepts learned in the class, so sit back and enjoy the review of Traveling the Training Airways. As you watch the following video, observe the qualities that make it a poor presentation. Don't let this be you.
In 1930, the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, in an effort to alleviate the effects of the, anyone? The Great Depression, passed the, anyone? The tariff bill, the Hawley-Smoot Tariff Act, which, anyone raised or lowered? Raised.
Here we go. And of course the availability of other investment opportunities to consider, and that's actually it.
And I'll come out and I'll do a bit of, a few gags and stuff, and then I'll go, right, you have to be thick-skinned in business. It doesn't matter if you're the T-boy or the general manager. People will try and rock your confidence and shake your spirit. Do not listen to them, yeah? Let's try a little exercise. And I'll just go into the audience and I'll pick on someone at random. I'll just go, you, sir, what's your name? Say your name.
Leroy.
Where's Leroy come from?
Now, I will need to go through all the projected earnings for each quarter based on statistical forecasting, and I'll be doing this by showing you the PowerPoint slides and graphs. Now, I know this might not be that interesting to you, but it is something I feel needs to be done for you to fully understand where the company's heading now.
Welcome to the greatest presentation ever. By I, Akash Bharat. Today, this presentation will change the history of mankind.
In conclusion,
Just as a pilot does all the instrument checks prior to allowing passengers on the plane, so does a presenter who is preparing a presentation. The first step to preparing your presentation is to gather the facts such as location, audience, time, and equipment needed. The second step is to research and gather information. Create an outline of your topic. This is the map to your destination. Just as an airlines provides you with an itinerary which includes departure and arrival times, flight numbers, boarding information, and assigned seating, so does your outline. You have your starting point, the meat of your presentation, and the conclusion. It directs you to where you need to go. Along with the second step, determine whether you need to work with a subject matter expert. You will need to build in time to collaborate with this person. Be sure to give credit where credit is due. Avoid plagiarism and cite your sources in the presentation and in the materials you hand out. Only use reliable resources. Wiki can be sticky. The third step is preparing the materials and handouts. This may include participant guides or takeaways, worksheets, activities, and slides. Remember to make the design easy on the eyes by choosing readable colors and less text. Here are some reminders of do's and don'ts in a presentation. As mentioned previously, make the color easy on the eyes. Think of contrast such as dark backgrounds with white lettering, or light backgrounds with dark lettering. Yellow and red should be used sparingly or not at all. Fonts need to be consistent throughout the presentation. Avoid making each slide a different font. You are the focal point of this presentation, and the PowerPoint is the accessory. Last, use animation sparingly. When there are too many effects and transitions, it is annoying to the audience and distracts from your message. For the don'ts, avoid using more than 6 bullet points on a slide. If you can simplify the information and use a graphic, that's even better. All of your information should not be on the slides. People can use your handouts to help guide them. A side note on the handouts, avoid doing a PowerPoint copy of the slides as your handout. It's really lazy and really shouldn't give them much information if you actually use the PowerPoint as an accessory rather than detailed information. Fonts in your presentation need to be readable. Try to stay consistent. It is recommended that you use 24-point font. Don't clutter your screen with too many objects. It's another item that can distract from your message. Once you have your presentation prepared, proofed, and ready to present, it's time to walk down the ramp and take off to reach cruising altitude. To engage and motivate your audience, remember the ramp to fame. This includes recency, appropriateness, motivation, primacy, two-way communication, feedback, active learning, multi-sense learning, and exercise. Whether you choose to check or carry on your bags, there are certain things to make sure before you sit down in your seat and fasten your seatbelt. The same is true just before you begin your presentation. Check your personal appearance. Always look professional regardless of who is attending. Avoid jeans or shorts unless you are giving a golf or gardening lesson. Be sure you have practiced the timing and avoid time violations. Have breaks when scheduled, start and stop on time. Check to make sure all of the technology in the room is functioning prior to your first participant's arrival. Double check the day before that you have the correct version of your presentation on your flash drive. Don't forget it on presentation day. You will encounter some participants derailing the workshop with oversharing, disrupting, or being inappropriate. Have a plan to handle these situations. Thank them for sharing and let them know you would like to hear from others as well. Create a parking lot that really will cover the areas that have no relevance to the presentation. You can put the information on the parking lot and acknowledge the comment from the participant, reassure them that you are interested, but also recognize that it's a side topic that might not be able to be discussed. You can visit with that person on breaks or after class if necessary. As you prepare for landing, be sure you are moving about the cabin, checking for understanding, making eye contact, and engaging with your audience. Now it's time to wrap up the flight. There is no need to repeat information over and over in the wrap-up. You've already covered your main points, so you need to make connections with the material to avoid repetition. Tie your main points together in an activity, through questions, or case study. Your participants want to apply what you've taught and see where they can incorporate it into their daily lives. As you watch the following video, see how the presenter makes eye contact with participants, uses his body language during his interactions, and how he moves around. Also note his professional appearance. What are the good points you see? What are some that you can add to your own presentations? How can you apply what you've learned for preparing the cabin, cruising to your destination, and landing your future presentations?
So we're going to talk about recovery-oriented systems and hope. Ty, you were sharing just a little bit about how excited you are about recovery and hope, and I'm going to draw on a lot of your energy today because I need it. I need that hope and that recovery. So that's the basis of why we're here. That's the basis of our whole system and every role that we do. So what do you guys think about the word recovery when I say it? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Getting better. Okay. Anybody else? A life change. Okay.
A complete and spiritual transformation.
All right. Change. So we're changing stuff. We're getting better. Okay. Anybody else have a different meaning or a different thing that comes to their mind? Yes, ma'am. Oh, for the families, yeah, you got to include because we don't exist in a vacuum. There's a lot of things that impact us. So the family system. Thank you for mentioning that. A process. Yes, definitely. It's not. Yeah, Life? Living. Oh, yes. So we're going to talk about recovery-oriented systems and hope. Ty, you were sharing just a little bit about how excited you are about recovery and hope. And I'm going to draw on a lot of your energy today because I need it. I need that hope and that recovery. So that's the basis of why we're here. That's the basis of our whole system and every role that we do. So what do you guys think about the word recovery when I say it? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Getting better. Okay. Anybody else? A life change. Okay.
A complete and spiritual transformation.
All right. Change. So we're changing stuff. We're getting better. Okay. Anybody else have a different meaning or a different thing that comes to their mind? Yes, ma'am. Hope for the families. Yeah, you got to include because we don't exist in a vacuum. There's a lot of things that impact us. So the family system. Thank you for mentioning that. A process. Yes, definitely. It's not. Yeah. Life. Living. Oh, yes.